January 6th, 2026. A growing number of states have enacted laws that are commonly described as menopause initiatives, including workplace protections, public education, or insurance and hormone therapy access changes. That's the headline. But what changes for you on Monday? If you live in Rhode Island, here's what changes, when it took effect, and how to actually use it in real life. If you work in Rhode Island and menopause symptoms are affecting your day, this state law gives you a practical tool: the right to ask for reasonable workplace adjustments so you can keep doing your job. This isn't about special treatment, it's about removing avoidable barriers so you can perform. As of June 24th, 2025, the law explicitly covers menopause and related conditions under the state's reasonable accommodation protections. Here's the big clarity point. In Rhode Island, an employer generally includes the state and political subdivisions, and any person employing 4 or more individuals. And the law protects employees and job applicants, not just people who are already hired. Some workplaces already do this well. This law makes the expectation explicit and consistent. Under the statute, it's an unlawful employment practice to refuse a reasonable accommodation you request, unless the employer can show undue hardship, force you onto leave, if another reasonable accommodation can be provided, deny opportunities because you asked for an accommodation. And the law is clear. The employer has the burden of proving undue hardship. The law gives examples of reasonable accommodations. This list is incredibly useful because it helps you ask for something concrete, not vague. And the law explicitly defines related conditions to include the need to manage the effects of vasomotor symptoms. In plain language, that often means things like hot flashes or night sweats. The goal is not special treatment. It's removing avoidable barriers so you can perform. Here's a simple 3-step playbook that works in the real world. Step 1. Name the work impact, not your whole medical life. Try: I'm experiencing symptoms that are affecting focus, stamina, or temperature regulation during shifts. Step 2. Ask for 1 to 2 specific adjustments. Start small. Pick from the statute's language: breaks, modified schedule, seating, equipment modifications, temporary transfer, assistance with manual labor. Step 3. Put it in writing. Calm, professional. Subject: request for reasonable workplace adjustment. Hi, HR employee. I'm requesting a reasonable workplace adjustment related to a health condition covered under Rhode Island's accommodation protections. What would help me perform my job effectively is 1. blank and 2. blank. I'm happy to discuss options that meet business needs. Thank you. Optional line to add if you want to reference the law without sounding combative. You can add, this request is consistent with RI General Laws 28574. Rhode Island also requires employers to provide written notice of these rights, including a conspicuous workplace posting. And here's a very practical detail. The statute says employers must provide notice to new employees at hire and to any employee who notifies the employer of menopause within 10 days of that notification. If your workplace hasn't posted anything, it may simply mean HR is behind on implementation, not that you did something wrong by asking. If you're blocked, document. If your request is denied or ignored, keep it simple and factual. Document the date you requested, who you asked, what you requested the response, and what happened afterward. If you believe you were discriminated against, Rhode Island has a state enforcement pathway through the Rhode Island Commission for Human Rights. Rules commonly describe a 1-year time frame for filing certain charges under Rhode Island law, and federal timelines can be shorter, often 180 days or 300 days, depending on circumstances. This is general information, not legal advice. If you're considering a complaint, it's wise to verify deadlines directly with the agency or a qualified professional. Rhode Island's approach is simple. Keep experienced people working by making reasonable adjustments normal. If menopause symptoms are affecting your job, you don't have to wait for a crisis to ask for support. If you want, I'll link the official statute below, plus a one-page checklist you can download. Thank you for watching. If you live in Rhode Island, check the links in the description for the official statute and a simple one-page checklist you can download. If you found this useful, like, subscribe, and share it with someone who could use a little more clarity at work. And tell me in the comments what state you want next.